Oh, folks, well, I was wondering, is there going to be another false flag terror event on the way for 2010 in Britain? 'Cause now they're telling us there's 2,000 terrorists. Yeah. Now, let's put it this way, if you wanted to find out how many people was working at your local supermarket, how'd you do that? You'd either go in the back end, which you could do if you was them sneaky security services people, and look up the employment, number of employees. Oh yeah, okay. we got 50 employees at the local supermarket. Or if you was a little bit low tech, you could just keep an eye on the place and say, oh, I haven't seen that one before. I haven't seen that one before. Oh, that's it. So there's various ways what you could establish an accurate figure. So if they're telling us 2,000, and obviously these people are professionals, so it wouldn't just be going, the wind's blowing from the southeast and it's raining quite a bit, so, that's about 2,000. No, because these are professionals, highly paid. And so if they know that there's these 2,000 people, one assumes that if matey who lives in a terrace house, who's been buying a lot of fertiliser, you'd think that they'd say, oh well, yeah, actually on the weekend he takes them bags of fertiliser to his uncle who's unemployed, who's got an allotment. So we've discounted people like that. Okay, so we know that these particular ones definitely up to something no good. Now, well, you think if they had enough evidence to say there's 2,000 of them, that they would actually then, rather than say, well, I'll tell you what, we'll just wait and see if they blow something up first, shall we? If they're supposed to be doing what they're supposed to be doing, you'd think they'd say, well, look, folks, and they're also sort of suggesting that these people might be coming from the Yemen, which just happened coincidentally where there's a bit of trouble at the moment, and they might want to get some troops and stuff into to kind of sort things out. Because like conveniently, like on the 10th of September somebody signs the invasion of Afghanistan, and on the 11th of September these conveniently these terrorists who allegedly operating out of Afghanistan attack. Oh, funny that, isn't it? Anyway, but you think if it was real, now I'm not saying there ain't terrorists out there, there probably are, but there again, if you go invading people's countries, you might just get them a little bit upset, mightn't you? Because like, well, we haven't really integrated very well into Iraqi and Afghan society. We seems to be a little bit of friction there. A little bit of, we ain't quite integrated into their society, and one of the things that they're saying is that some of the people what is of a different ethnical persuasion haven't quite integrated into our society. I thought, well, actually they've probably done a slightly better job than we've done out there, but I'm splitting hairs here, but I was thinking, this is a bit, isn't it? Because of course the elite people, it's quite convenient, really, isn't it? Because obviously with terrorism, you can then say, oh, well, the terrorists might be using that internet thing, so we might have to, just for now, just take away a little bit of your freedom, just for the moment, just to protect you, because the terrorists might be using it. And of course we know, in fact, that one of the elite people didn't think the internet was perhaps such a good idea as it didn't seem like a good idea at the time originally. So, and of course, we know there's a financial crisis, and following financial crisis, they usually sort of have a nice bit of conflicts going on. War seems to follow after they've bought everything up dirt cheap, and people are really peed off because they've lost lots of things to the banksters, because the banksters, well, anyway, yeah. And of course they tried the old, they tried the old, they were going to do the bird flu, but that was rumbled, wasn't it? Or what's that live bird flu doing in that flu vaccine? So they had to go for plan B for the swine flu. And likewise with the climate change thing, with the climate gate emails and stuff like that, that's all, and all the scientists going, oh, I'm not sure this is quite right, you know. So all those sort of things, people can go, oh, let's hold on a minute, let's have a look at the data, let's look at what's going on, because those sort of things they can't say, oh, we can't tell you that because it's national security. They can't hide behind that sort of thing. But terrorists, or terrorism rather, that is that little special case, isn't it? Everything else can be looked at, analysed, and people can go, oh, well, that's not quite right there, is it? We've checked out all this data, and we're a little bit, yeah. Whereas terrorism, it's, as I say, they can, there's all the secret services are dealing with that, so we can't really tell you anything about that. No, we'd like to, and of course you can't really go to, not most people can't really go to Afghanistan or to Yemen or wherever that happens to be and go, excuse me, we're just going to want to wander around, just do a little survey and check things out for ourselves, because of course these terrorist organisations, they're all a bit secretive as well, aren't they? But you only have to look back at history and you go, oh, that Mr H, he wanted that Enabling Act, didn't he? And then along comes a communist terrorist, allegedly, and burns down the old Reichstag. Oh yeah, oh look, I think you better give me more power, says Mr H. It's only temporary, this Enabling Act. Only temporary. Yeah, well then we know how temporary that was, wasn't it? And then following that terrorist event, we had war. And then you look at the terrorist event of 9/11 and 7/7, that happens, and then we have war. And then we're brewing up for another one. And if you look at when these things happen, yeah, when there's other things going on and whatever, yeah. And of course Mr H, during his period there was a bit of financial crisis, wasn't there? Yeah. So it's sort of, history keeps repeating itself, and they have to use the same type of thing, because when they, as I say, when they try something more scientific or more something that they can't hide behind national security, then people can rumble it. They can say, oh, hold on a minute, you're telling porky pies. Lies. For people that don't know, that's just Cockney slang for, well, I think it is. It used to be, anyway. Might have changed now, I don't know. What it was when I was, yeah. So, yeah. So I just think there's perhaps a false flag operation they've got, because they're probably a little bit upset about the old things on the old swine flu stuff not going quite to plan, and the old bird flu not going quite to plan, and the old climate change not going quite to plan. Could be that they thought, oh well, go back to terrorism, come on, it's a classic one, but it works usually. Apart from this blooming internet, they keep talking about it. There's all these videos, people saying, oi, think there's going to be a false flag, think these security services, or as I like to call them, insecurity services, might be cooking something up again. Out there, glorious leaders. Yeah. Yeah. Oops. Look there. We're in a bit of a financial crisis, which we created. We're buying up everything we can get our hands on. Now we've got to distract the sheeple, because they're starting to rumble that we're scamming them, and the banking system's a right old con job. Can we have a war? Well, how are we going to do that? Well, that's for terrorism. Yes, that's a good one. No, that's probably it, isn't it? Anyway, cheers for now.